There are warnings about using smartphones made by a major Chinese manufacturer today. Your private Facebook account can be used against you in a court of law, and the CEO of one of the biggest media companies in the world says the end is near for print journalism. All that and more on Tech News Today for Thursday, February 15th, brought to you by Outdoorsy. Make money renting your RV or browse what's available for rent for your next family road trip at Outdoorsy.com. There's a warning out today about using phones made by a major Chinese tech company called Huawei. That's Huawei. 6 U.S. intelligence department heads, including the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA, reported to the Senate Intelligence Committee that they're concerned about the risk of foreign governments gaining positions of power inside our telecommunications networks and opening the door to undetected spying. Huawei and another Chinese company called ZTE have been trying their best to get a foothold in the U.S. market. A spokesman for Huawei slammed U.S. carriers, saying they're depriving customers of choice. Huawei is the company that almost had a partnership with AT&T back during the Consumer Electronics Show, but lawmakers urged AT&T to pull out of the deal and walk away, and AT&T did. Unlocked smartphones made by Huawei and ZTE are for sale in the United States, but the U.S. government says stay far away. Well, here's a shock about Facebook. It turns out that many of the things you may post on your private Facebook account may not stay private. There's a unanimous decision this week by a New York appeals court, and they ruled that a Manhattan woman named Kelly Foreman, who suffered a brain and spinal injury after she was thrown from a horse, has to reveal her private Facebook postings. She says the injuries turned her into a recluse. She alleges that Mark Hinken, the horse's owner, was negligent in setting up her stirrups. But Hinken is hoping to prove through social media that Kelly Foreman did not, in fact, become a recluse due to the fall. So the best advice with Facebook is the same advice that we would give you with email. Never print or post anything that you wouldn't want to repeat in court. Now here's the big question about newspapers. Do you still read them? Do you still buy them? Mark Thompson is the CEO of the New York Times, and on an interview on CNBC, Thompson says that he would like to see the print edition of the New York Times survive as long as possible. But in an increasingly digital world, the number of subscribers to the printed paper is declining. Online numbers keep rising. So Thompson says the Times added 157,000 digital subscribers in the fourth quarter of 2017. And revenue from digital subscriptions also increased about 51%. This has been a good trend for the New York Times and for other newspapers too. So as more users subscribe to the digital-only editions of the New York Times, Thompson says he would be surprised if the print edition survives for another 10 years. And speaking of media changes, we all know that these days more and more people are dumping cable TV and satellite in favor of streaming devices. And because of that, YouTube is going to be upgrading its lineup. The paid subscription service to YouTube, which right now costs $35 a month, is going to increase to $40 a month in March and will begin offering popular networks like TNT, TBS, and CNN, alongside some of their current offerings such as ESPN, Fox News, USA Today, and the CW. In these changes, YouTube TV subscribers who like sports will have access to even more content, including nationally televised NBA games, baseball playoff games, and the PGA Championship. And while digital media seems to be the future, if results of a certain lie detector test are to be believed, by the year 2028, time travel might be available too. A man who uses the name of Noah is claiming to be from the year 2030. So Noah is giving an interview to an organization called Apex TV. And among the things that he claims will happen will be a second term for President Donald Trump, humanity making it to Mars by 2028, and big leaps for artificial intelligence. And also, while Bitcoin will apparently still be a thing in 2028, U.S. dollars and even pennies will still be around. One thing from the interview was lacking. Noah apparently didn't talk about the future of Apex TV, whatever that is. That's your tech news today, and thanks again to our sponsor, Outdoorsy. the #1 community for RV rentals. Make money on your RV or browse what's available for your next family road trip. Simply go to outdoorsy.com.